So he definitely used his freedom of speech by doing his design of rocks and the beach sand. But was it protected? I don't know, and I'm not the one to say that. But the regulators and the authorities are going to tell us. So as long as your speech is protected, then your account stays up. So if you come in here and say something that is not protected, I can't help you because I'm not a law enforcement officer, I'm not the president, and I'm not a regulator or a legislator, and I don't make the laws. But I certainly will follow the laws, and I can't imagine how your account's going to get restricted or taken down if you're following your freedom of speech. I mean, you have a freedom of speech to say these things, so I can't imagine I'm not the arbiter of truth. I can't tell you what you can and can't say.
So currently right now, like I can have my camera off and not say anything, and I can have my account taken down for sexual exploitation. And this is something that happens to a lot of people because we have bots that just come in and constantly report until something eventually flags. And then the account's down for 7 days. So I guess I just feel like 7 days is a bit harsh in some ways. It's a whole week.
We're not going to have, it's going to be a totally different era on social media. So that may be how the CCP and ByteDance run things, but it's certainly not how we're going to run things. And you're not going to just have your account suspended for an X amount. You're not going to go in timeout. You're going to know that if you mess up and the Secret Service has knocked on your door or something, then your account was taken down for a reason. And that's the only way it's coming down, is because you somehow violated and didn't use protected speech. So we can say a lot of things on here, and you have an opinion and I have an opinion, and I'm not going to stand here and debate politics, but I think you have a protected speech. I don't ever see myself taking Millie's account down unless you've actually a court ordered it or something. I mean, this is intellectual property.
Okay, that's a great answer. But also, just to speak to that just a little bit, right? Is there going to be some sort of an enforcement mechanism, some sort of punishment for people who engage in this, like, vitriolic mass reporting, like trying to get people's accounts taken down, because there are coordinated efforts to do that, and there's no accountability at all?
So I think we just need to quickly distinguish we have a live video up right now, and there's no safeguards in place. The AI that I'm talking about that's going to monitor these apps through cybersecurity and monitor your data is going to monitor the comments so that it's going to see patterns and it's going to pick up on things that normal humans don't pick up on. So if somehow these people breach through the several fail-safe switches that the AI has in place, and your video was taken down, your account isn't going to be suspended or taken down, but your video might get taken down, then you're going to appeal that. And if you're unable to make it through the 2 or 3 steps, and it's a very easy process, we're making this very user-friendly, then you're going to get to the end of the 2 or 3 steps. It's going to be 2 or 3 layers. So if you're unable to troubleshoot this on your own and get your video back and recover it, then you'll be texted or given a code within the app. Say it's a 4 or 6-digit code. And you're going to call an 800 number and speak with an actual live human being at one of our call centers right here in America, in English-speaking American. And you're going to say, hey, this is Tony, this is Millie, this is whoever. My code is, last night it was 8675309. That's the code I used because it's nostalgic. And you're going to say, hey, this is Jenny. And
that's good.
Okay, so then you'll get a code, and they're going to verify you through that code. And then you're going to explain the situation. Millie, my video was taken down because of this. And they're going to look and see what happened and why the AI triggered the way it did and took the video down. And they'll be able to restore your video 100%, unless for some reason what you're saying isn't actually factually true. But you'll talk to an actual human, and there will be an appeals process. It'll be very simple and very user-friendly. So the entire concept of this business, because this is a business, is to make sure that you, the users, come onto our app and go away from the other apps. And we want to make it a very user-friendly app and a very friendly app in general to everybody, regardless of your political affiliation. I have zero care in the world what you believe in politically. And we want to make sure you're making high quality content and engaging content, and you're adding to the algorithm. This is the whole point behind this. It's a business at the end of the day, And we want to make sure that all of you are able to make as much money and stay on this app and monetize all the way up too. And the more lucrative and the more exciting we make it for you and the easier it is to use, we believe our business philosophy is you don't need those other apps. So you'll soon delete them, hopefully, and just stay on our app. That's the hope.
Okay. So MJ?
Billy, did you have anything else that you wanted to?
I guess, would we be able to, are we staying at 30%, 40% of the earnings on TikTok? I think that's probably another question most live creators want to know is how much of a percentage of our donations do we get to keep, and do we have to keep doing live goals to get there?
No. If you go live and someone gives you a token, you're going to keep 100. I have zero interest, and our company has zero interest in your gifts. Everyone keeps saying, how is this taxable? I am not the IRS. I am not a legislator, and I don't make the tax code. Talk to your legislator if you want these to be considered tips. Otherwise, they're just income, I believe. But I would love to say that I hold all the power in the world, but I certainly don't. But I will make this as profitable for all of you as I possibly can, because I want you to be here and not over on one of those other apps. I want you using my app 100% of the time, and to take as much profit share away from the other apps as possible. That's the end goal, I think, of any business. So that's how we're moving forward. Sorry about that, MJ.
Oh, no, you're totally fine. Reid, first of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to come up and speak with us and answer these questions. It's really important to all of us, especially with the issues that we've had over the past 4 or 5 years on this app. So one of my questions to you, and it's really important, I think Tony highlighted it and brought it up, where we're talking about bipartisanship and being able to reach across the aisle and have conversations with other people to let them know that they're not going to be censored as well, because that was one of the things that happened with, of course, Twitter. The left kind of just ran away from Twitter once Elon went in and took it over and made X. So I think that's a very important point. My question to you is, let's just say that this wholesale doesn't work out. Do you have a plan B for another possible app? And what is that? And what does it look like?
Sure. So I'm going to address 2 things here. So first, I think that open and cordial debate will bring unity to this country. And our First Amendment, working both directions, will bring unity. And right now we're divided. And the last time I remember an open, full debate in the halls of Congress was back when Newt Gingrich worked with President Clinton to balance the budget. In fact, that's the last time we had a balanced budget. Nowadays, our congressmen and women go into an empty chamber and they speak, and then they come out to the hallways and they tell us what they're going to do. They don't even give us a debate. They just say, here's what we decided we're going to do. Where we didn't get to see a debate from the right and the left, unless it's who's going to be Speaker of the House, which is a very sad situation. So I think public forums just like this, where all parties get to come together, left, right, libertarian, independent, I don't care, and truly I don't care what your political opinions are, come together. I think this kind of cordial, open debate is the most important thing to move our country forward, because at the end of the day, we're all brothers, sisters, moms, dads, and neighbors. And when we can walk outside and hold hands and move forward in unison, this country will be much better off. So I think that's the first part I have to address moving forward on this. So do we have a plan B? Well, we've raised a lot of money, and I think one way or another we're going to deploy that capital. So I can't talk a lot about things, guys, and I'm sorry, but I promise.
Yeah, no, we understand.
We are fighting every day for TikTok. we are fighting every day to buy TikTok, and whether the CCP will allow ByteDance to divest, I don't know, and I can't answer that question.
Right.
How much patience does Reid actually have? Boy, it's getting tested, I'll tell you that.
Right. I think the main reason, right, why we ask that question is because while we know that, there's not that much control, right, that you may have over the situation because you're bidding, right? We also, as creators, as people who use social media, as people who monetize, we also want to know that there is a plan for an alternative. You don't have to get into it here, right? But I do think that there is a unique opportunity here based on what TikTok, the model that it represents, right? And also this unique niche where you get to break away from the hyper partisanship that is playing into the division in the country. So I would just definitely encourage you, even if it does not go through that way, you have a unique opportunity to actually bring not just the country together, but the world together in open discourse and the open exchange of ideas.
Well, there might be a plan B.
Okay, hey.
There might be a plan B.
That's great.
Okay,
We
guys.
feel a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Another
right.
thing that I wanted to ask about is,
Okay.
I don't show my face on camera. I used to show my face all the time. And the reason for that is doxing. Doxing's turned out to be a very, very bad thing. And when people start going after family members and children, you kind of have to. So anonymity is
Yes.
a huge thing for us on this app. Question to you would be, let's just say that someone is doxxed and we have the proof, and the proof is all within the app itself. Are you guys going to work with law enforcement so that we can hold these individuals accountable?
Yeah. So as long as it's illegal and law enforcement is contacting us in a legal way. So listen, if one, I want to be really clear here because I saw this in the comments. I need to address this. The federal government will own 5% of TikTok because we're going to give it to them. They will have zero control over the app. This will be privately held and privately run. They will get to monetize. You all, the taxpayers, will get to profit in that 5% and share in that profit as taxpayers. And we're going to earmark these funds that are generated from that 5% to meaningful infrastructure on American soil. We don't want this money then being spent overseas in a war or something. We want this to go to our electrical grid. We want this to go to roads, bridges, water lines, sewer lines, new meaningful construction. So that's really important. If a law enforcement agency comes to us and says we need access because we have a warrant from a judge who says this violation occurred, then obviously we're going to have to work with them. And if that happens, then 1,000% we're going to work with them to make sure that whatever nefarious bad actors violated the law are held accountable. This is all about transparency and accountability. We're America. We're a country of laws, and the laws will be upheld. I think that's really important to understand. Is doxing illegal? I'm not too sure it is. Maybe in your state it is. I don't think it is in my state yet. I don't know. I think they were looking at this in Wyoming, but I don't know that it ever passed. So I think people need to be conscious of their state laws and the federal laws at play here and what's going on. So I think accountability doesn't just come from me; it comes from each individual also, and you're all held accountable for your own actions. And that also gets into the FCC Rule 230 and everything. Accountability plays a huge part in our daily lives, and we need to be very careful about regulations federally and locally. So I think this is an important conversation to have. So thank you, MJ.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go to Montana and yeah, with whatever questions you have here. I know, by the way, I know where time is flying, guys. So I'm just going to ask you guys just to just tap the screen, like it and all of that, because, I guess that keeps us up in the algorithm or whatever. All right. Thanks. Go ahead. Floor is yours, Montana.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me too. I really appreciate it. And good afternoon to you, sir. So a couple of questions for you. So this is something that I heard, and I'm not sure if it's true. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and ask it. So are you charging, are you charging creators to be on this platform?
TikTok will always be free and you will always be verified, whether you're on the free side or you're on a pay side. So if you go to founderstalk.com, did you go to Founders Talk and look at it?
I have
Founders
not.
is plural. Okay, so Founders is plural. Talk, T-O-K. You can look and see. You can even pledge your support. We're not collecting any money. We don't own the company yet. You can pledge your support and say, hey, I would be interested at the founding level or the free level. It makes no difference. I have small businesses, and my small businesses use at least $12,000 a year in advertising. So I would probably pay the $12,000 to be a founding member and have that founding badge. And as what that will give me is access to more advertising tools at a discounted price. So even if you're on the free side and you're like, hey, I want to advertise this video or this product, you can do that, but you're going to pay 100% of the advertising cost. Whereas if you pay for the membership, you'll get a discounted price. And we're just trying to stretch the dollar for small businesses, is making a more business-friendly environment for creators and small businesses on the app, people who are making money on this app. That's what we're trying to do. It'll always be free, though. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, in a sort of kind of way, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I'll go to the website.
Sure.
But I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I was a little shocked when I heard that. So I'm assuming that you're not going to carry on the TikTok shop then.
The TikTok shop will 100% be going. So if you're
Okay.
over on X, are you on X? Are you over on Twitter?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a blue check mark?
Yes, I do.
And you pay for that blue check mark?
Like $9 a month.
Sure. And you can pay $9 a month and have a blue check mark over here too, or you can be on the free side and still have the exact same algorithm and still be verified, but it's free. But if you pay $9 a month, you're going to be able to promote products and have other services provided to you. Or if you pay for the next level up, and I can't remember how much it is, I apologize. Or if you pay for Founders Talk, you're going to be able to have additional services provided for you. So you can be free and verified, or you can be the next level up and verified. Otherwise, verification will be free. TikTok will be free. The algorithm will be the exact same across all platforms. All we're doing is providing additional services to you to grow and expand.
Okay, so such as a creator such as myself, like
Sure.
Millie and I and Tony, were and Mod too, is that we're all political creators,
Sure.
right?
And you're going to want to expand
we're
your
not actually
audience.
selling anything, right? We're not
Nope.
selling anything. We're just providing information to our audience, right? Well, not information, but facts.
You are selling your content. This is your content, and I'm hoping that you make great, amazing videos that you're proud of and you want to promote at some point. And maybe you're saying, Reid, I don't ever want to promote them. I just want to grow. That's fine too. Listen, I believe that God gave us all free will and we can do whatever we want with it, and that's fine. If you want to be on the free app, you're going to have the exact same algorithm that you have on a paid app. So there's zero difference. If Montana wants to promote a video on the free side, she can do that, and you can pay $1 that promotes it for $1 worth of promotion. If you're up a level, and let's say you're paying that $10 a month, then you're going to get a 10% discount. Say, I don't know what the exact discount is. I'll have to go there and look. So you'll get $1 of advertising for 90 cents. Does that make sense? So some creators want to promote their content and grow their following more rapidly instead of organically. And that's the difference. So do you have to pay? No. Will you be verified? Yes. It'll be free regardless.
Okay. So that clarified a lot. Yeah.
I just had another question really quick, if you don't mind, Tony.
Yeah. We got to knock it out though, because we're running out of time. Go ahead.
Okay. So, well, actually, you did answer it for me regarding the TikTok shop really quick. So I have to ask this question. So will it be all American-made products, or will they be products from all over the world? And I just don't need to mention which country I'm talking about, so I'm just kind of being a little facetious.
Maybe there will be a TikTok tariff, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe there will be a TikTok tariff.
Yeah.
In the TikTok shop, we want to promote creators selling their products and goods and services, but we also want to have affiliate partners and have an amazing experience in there. So I think there's plenty of room for larger businesses and smaller businesses to share the space, and I think it's big enough platform for that to happen. So will we allow a company to sell something? I mean, I know small creators who sell from home, who sell products from overseas, and I don't believe I'm going to impede on their business model. I think that if they want to make money and sell, and you want to buy it, then that's not my position to stop you from buying it. Does someone going to make you buy it? No. If Montana only wants to buy American-made stuff, then maybe she wants to go to Reid's channel, who is like, everything I sell is 100% American-made and manufactured. So that would be a niche market that would be great to have. And I would certainly love to see that. Am I ever going to force someone to do that? No, I believe in capitalism and free enterprise, and I think people have a right to buy and sell what they want.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for answering that
Thank you
question.
very much. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it to either Shane or Dree right now. But before I do, I did want to just kind of touch on something real quickly. When you were talking about, I guess, the prioritization, right, that comes with, whether it's $1 or something similar to like the blue check mark, right? I understand that there are means of doing ads on these apps, right? Where you there's a certain cost attached to increasing your visibility. But one of the main problems that I see on social media in general is that while some accounts are being prioritized, others are simultaneously being deprioritized. And there's a lot of throttling of visibility of accounts, not just based in censorship and politics, but it just seems to me like a gotcha money model, right? So if I have 10,000 followers and I go live, or if I'm promoting something, all 10,000 of my followers should get it, or they should know that I'm live, right?
Yep.
So
100%. So if you're on the free model, listen, we're not changing the algorithm at all. Tony gets the exact same algorithm Reid gets, and Reid gets the exact same algorithm that my mom gets, who has 0 followers. She's just here to watch Reid on TikTok once a week or twice a week. That's all my mom does. But she has the exact same algorithm, and it's organic growth. When you go live, should all of your followers be notified that you're going live? 100%, as long as they have their notifications set to on. If they're like, don't bother me, then I'm not going to bother them, and they get to control that. So when a business wants to advertise a product, a service, or a goods, or a content creator wants to promote their video out, they should be able to do that, but that'll be inorganic. That'll be paid sponsorship of that ad, and they'll reach a larger audience. Exact same algorithm. I'm not messing with anyone's algorithm or prioritizing anyone or giving special treatment to anyone. All I'm saying is we're going to put those videos in front of new people, because if Tony makes a video to grow his following, you don't want to show that video to the following you already have. Why would you want to spend money to show it to your current followers when you're trying to expand your following and create and get in front of a new audience? So what we're trying to do is get those products, goods, services, and videos out to new people who would be most interested in buying them. So I sell financial services, financial planning, portfolio management, stuff like that. I don't want to talk to a certain demographic of people who don't want those services, or they only want to do a do-it-yourself service on Robinhood. I want to talk to people who actually want to hire a financial advisor or an advisory firm that builds portfolios, manages wealth, does estate planning. So I would use the algorithm and those demographic services to make sure that I am targeting only those people, because otherwise I'm losing money by advertising and promoting my products and services to the wrong audience. That's the only difference here. Okay.
all right, thank you. Go ahead, Shane. The floor is yours.
Hi, nice to meet you, Reid. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
My question centers around the monetization of user data. How is that data going to be collected, stored, commodified? Is it going to be anonymized data? Will it be specific? Just questions kind of centering around that.
So let's start out at the basics. When you download the app and you create your very first account, and you're going to get to keep the account you have. Let me just be very clear. But let's say you're a brand new user and I actually own this platform now. And Shane Tech creates an app, and he's going to say, I either opt in and you can use my data, or you're going to say, I opt out and don't use my data. So let's just say you opt out. This is the path of least resistance. You say, don't use my data, don't store it. I don't want you to know anything about me. You're going to then create a free account. We're going to verify you. That's the only data we are going to verify, because you can't be a bot on this account anymore. And you will have a wonky algorithm, because the algorithm is data driven. But again, that doesn't offend me, and I don't care. If you say I want to remain anonymous on this app and don't collect my data and don't show me videos that I might be interested in, that's fine. but the algorithm prioritizes people who allow us to use their data, and that's just the way algorithms work. Now, on the flip side, if you say, hey, yes, I opt in and use my data, first of all, we believe that your data is yours, which is unprecedented in social media. So that doesn't matter if you're on Candy Crush, swiping your little candies, or you're over on the Meta platform or whatever platform you're on. They're collecting your data currently, and they're using it to create ads and target you. So they're using this, you're the product ultimately, because you're sharing your data. And we're saying, yes, we're going to do the exact same thing, and we're going to profit share. So the more data you give and the more you use the app, the more money you'll make. You're going to profit share in your data because we believe you own that. Your data will be stored on American-owned data servers and data storage centers and American-owned cloud space. And we've been partnering with Dakota State University so far in South Dakota to create American-owned IP for cybersecurity, to keep your data safe, quantum computing for the code, and AI monitoring it 24/7 to ensure that it's not breached. And if it is breached, it can react very quickly. So we're partnering with some of the smartest minds between them and the School of Mines up in South Dakota. I think we're gonna be able to do this. There's going to be a transition period to build out all the infrastructure, obviously, but currently it's being housed on American-owned servers as it is. We're just going to have to continue to use those servers until our infrastructure is built. But we want it built in the most safe way possible, and we don't want to sell your data. So the only access that your data, people will have to your data, is if they're going to buy advertising. They're going to be able to they're not even going to know it's Shane. They're just going to go through the demographics and a different list of questions and say, I want to pinpoint people in this zip code or this state or this city or this town, and I only want people in this area that drive a Ford Mustang. I don't know how detailed we're going to get, but we can get demographic data from you, and then we'll start showing you those videos. But they're not going to have your individual data, and we're not going to sell it, and there will be no way we can transfer it out of these systems. So, but it will power the algorithm because it will have to be that powerful. And that's how this algorithm works already, and that's what makes it so special. And the videos and the content that you see. So it's really important to us that we have digital sovereignty in this country, but also data protection in this country, protected by American-owned intellectual property.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Trumpavelli, you there?
Yes. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Good. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank you for your donation to the homeless vets, man. I think that was awesome. We do appreciate that for what you did for the homeless vets. I think he really much answered everything, man, straight to detail. Well, do we have a time frame? Do you know of the time frame? Do you know where we are with it yet?
Yeah, so June 19th is the final day unless President Trump grants them another stay of execution or gives it to us. So the 100% honest truth is we are all waiting on our international government that controls ByteDance to allow ByteDance to divest. And if they don't allow them to divest, then the app goes dark unless President Trump says, here's another executive order, they can stay in the country. But which he has indicated he's willing to do one more time. We've indicated that we're ready to sign today. I believe ByteDance is ready to sell today because they've come to the realization that they can have 20% of something, which is our company, or 100% of nothing, because that's what the United States Congress and the last administration told them they can have. And that wasn't my doing. That was no one's doing. That was the last Congress and President Biden who signed that into law. And the Supreme Court in a 9-0 decision said, yep, that's the law and that's the way it's going to happen. So June 19th is the last day.
I needed a little clarification on that, right? Because I have heard you say something about the 20%. When you say 20%, is this that they'll be getting 20% of the revenue? Or when you say ownership, because with ownership comes authority, right? So how specifically are you addressing this, especially as it pertains to national security issues, which were the initial reason as to why this ban was proposed in the first place?
Sure. So the United States Congress and the U.S. Senate said in the law that ByteDance, the corporation, may own 20% stake in the American operation. So that will give them one board position out of the 7 board positions. So how much control will they have? Probably not much. They'll be able to partake in the profits primarily. Will they have a seat at the board? Yep. I can't stop that, but that's what the legislators put out, and we're following the law to the letter, trying to make the regulators happy and get a deal done here. Because at the end of the day, we're conducting business, and we need to follow the law and make a deal happen. So that's what we're doing.
I was just
Okay.
to let you know, if you
I
have a
got one
board
more.
seat available that needs filling, I will have to check my schedule, but I'm possibly open.
You might be
Yeah,
open.
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can alleviate that. We can remedy that with a creator
Yep.
council on the
Yes.
new
So
TikTok.
that's right. So we will have a creators board of director where we're going to have 4 or 6 month terms on this board to make sure that all of you get a say in how we develop and enhance the app, and you'll be able to come out to headquarters, and it'll be all expenses and everything paid. So you'll get to come out and help develop it and work on it for that term, and truly have a say in what happens moving forward. So I think that's important too. But I'm not a legislator, so I didn't make the decision on how the law went into effect, but that's what they decided. So, but I can decide how the companies run, and I can tell you I want to make sure that your voices are heard.
All right. So I'm going to go to Dree real quick, and then we're going to go to Mod. So go ahead, Dree.
Okay.
All right, appreciate you, Mr. Rasner. I wanted to ask you, did you consider what Musk, his takeover of Twitter and transformation to X, to be a success?
Was his a success?
Yeah, what everything he did is
I
regarding.
have no opinion of Elon or what he did. I think he made a mistake when he hired a CEO, but I think a lot of people agree with that. But I have no opinion of Elon or what he's doing on X. Yeah.
Okay, appreciate you. And then, so I'm sure you have all the information on TikTok now, and as far as its demographics and of its users and creators. If you are to take it over, do you expect the demos to change at all, or would you expect it to stay roughly the same?
Oh, it's going to change. It's going to change big time. So there will be no kids on this app under 18 years old.
All right.
On this side of the app. So they will go to Kids Talk, and we have a lot of things in place to make sure that that's going to happen. Now, I'm not your kiddo's parents, so can I stop you from giving them access? No. But can I make a very, very safe space for children under 18 to go learn about STEM-focused topics? Yes. Will I do that? 100%. Will I make it difficult for kids on this app? 1,000%. So the demographics will certainly change from 13 to 24-year-olds to 18 plus only, because I don't believe I should ever be in a public forum with a minor in any setting, having discussions with them or molding their minds. I believe the parents should be next to them if that's happening. And there's too many predators. We have 170 million to 200 million Americans on this app. And I don't know that I have nephews. I don't know that I would want my nephews exposed to some of the people on this app. And that's how I feel about it. So that's what we're going to do moving forward. And the demographics will definitely change.
Great, absolutely fantastic, because that has, I think, limited the speech of many of the adults that participate on the app, and then, like you said, it could children could be at danger. So thank you very much, and this will let you know. So I'm a Democrat, and I'm primarily a user, so that's where I'm coming from. But thank you for your answers.
You're welcome. Thank you.
One question.
Yeah, sure.
Is it a possible way we can just get rid of all the Democrats to get them off this app?
Stop. Stop.
Don't
answer that.
Because listen, they have the same right we have, and we want to hear their. So this is how we bring a country together. And I'm telling you that this country will move into an amazing, amazing space if we all link arms together in unity and unison, and we march forward. And it's a lot easier together than it is divided. So whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, I strongly believe that all of us want the best for this country, and we all want to go from point A to point B. It's just how do we get there that we differ on. But I think we all want a very bright future for our kids and grandkids at the end of the day. It's just how do we get there is the difference. And I think open debate and full use of our First Amendment, and you don't have to be nasty to each other. That's not what the First Amendment's about. The First Amendment is coming together and being able to have a disagreement, but at the end of the day, shake hands and move on and come back tomorrow to try to change each other's minds again. But ultimately, the goal is to move the country forward in a positive direction, because that's what we want to leave behind for our kids. So the division has to stop, and the only way it stops is when the community comes together. So I would say we link arms with Dre, and we link arms with
Shane.
Tony and Reid. Oh, with Shane. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
We link arms together as neighbors and brothers, and
That's
we
right.
march forward rather than use social
Being
media
divided.
in a negative way. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
there's a good purpose here. So and it's going to be very bad at first, but stick with me, because once the floodgate breaks, people are going to find out what the First Amendment really means. And we've never truly experienced that, but I think it's going to get reined in very quickly and self-monitored. I don't have to do the monitoring. I think all of you will monitor and put each other in check. I don't really have to do much.
Very.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tony.
Go ahead.
I've always said that when the conversations stop, that's usually when violence breaks out. And we want to try to avoid that at all costs.
Right.
Tony, did you want to go to mod?
Yeah, that's where I was getting ready to go. And by the way, looks like they're loving your answers because they're gifting the hell out of you. So go ahead, Mod. Floor is yours.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's perfect timing.
We lost you.
Sorry,
back.
my phone battery. I got to charge my phone. So I kind of want to go back to the beginning here as far as what your intentions are and sort of long-term engagement. So did a little research and found, I know you recently did a bid for a Senate seat out of the state of Wyoming for the U.S. Senate. And I think one thing that's concerning for us is having a platform where we know if someone's owning this app, do they have our best interests? And I think for a lot of us creators that have been on here for a while, I think we've been kind of put through the ringer with a lot of the changes in community guidelines. Some of us have been demonetized, shadow banned, taken down, and we've noticed that it's become political talk. So one of the things that, we noticed is that you have a huge engagement with a lot of the creators. I know you've interviewed some of these people that I know. I think you talked to older millennial. I know you've talked to them, but just recently with the bid that you had in the state of Wyoming, and then some of the points of contention with some of the other Republicans, as far as maybe your intentions, how we want to know exactly, why is it important for you to engage with us like this? And do you plan on having this as having a traditional role as a CEO? What are your intentions? Do you see yourself going back into politics after this? Like, what exactly are your intentions, I guess, is what I want to know.
Sure. So this is politics, this isn't business. And I ran for office because I felt that I would do a better job than what we currently have, which I think a lot of people would say the same thing. You have to get out and vote. As far as what my intentions are, I'm an American. I have a constitutional right and obligation, I think, to serve this country. Will I serve? If the call is there, I'll certainly step up. Right now, I'm 100% focused on acquiring TikTok and doing something amazing for the American people, the American First Movement, President Trump. And that's where my focus is. I've raised a tremendous amount of capital, and I'm going to keep going. No one will stop. And I would say not everything in the media is true. I'll just leave it there.
Okay. So I guess in the vein of that, right, where we're talking about the engagement, because I do notice you are very engaging with creators. And I think that is a very good thing. But I guess my question is, like, if your bid is successful and you do acquire TikTok, Will that level of engagement continue? Or
Well, am I going to do 2 or 3 or 4
well,
TikToks a
not
week?
like this.
Maybe
No.
not. But will I be very engaged and highly successful? I always am. And every business I've ever run has been client centric. And if I get the privilege to serve 170 plus million Americans, will I always put them first? Yes. Will I still engage with them? Listen, I will engage with our liberal friends on the left or on the right or in the center. I was on video game creators, on veteran creators. I was on a creator who just ran a small business and sold baseball cards and other memorabilia. I will engage with anyone, and I'm trying to be as transparent with all of you as possible, because at the end of the day, this is going to greatly affect your lives. And I want you to know where I'm headed, and I want you to be able to ask your questions. And if I can answer them without violating an NDA or something else, I will answer them. And I will be as honest and upfront with all of you as I possibly can. This is business. This isn't politics. And I know we're in a political sphere. And if you, and TikTok isn't politics talk. It's only politics talk because you're engaged in that kind of activity in the algorithm. So if you want to change your algorithm, then change and watch video games. And your entire algorithm will become Super Mario Brothers, or engage in a different behavior, and your algorithm will soon change. For me, my entire algorithm is much different than everyone else's probably, and this is where it is. So, will I run in the future? I don't know. I don't even see how that's even a part of what's happening. I'm doing a massive business transaction that has political ties, not because I made it that way, but because the United States Congress made it that way. But I have a constitutional right, and I believe every one of us has a constitutional obligation to serve our country if the call is there. And that's exactly what I tried to do. And I would never give it up. I'd never give that experience up for anything in the world.
One more thing, Reid. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I already know you already touched on First Amendment being able to speak. I'm a big quote unquote conspiracy theorist. I don't know if you know, but unfortunately, we can't talk about certain things on here without getting taken down. But just for clarification, will we be able to speak about that?
Yeah, as long as it's a protected speech. Like, I don't know how clear I can be about this. You have a right to say whatever you want, as long as it is protected under the First Amendment, and our First Amendment has limitations.
Correct.
Okay, and so my example is, I believe James Comey is about to find out whether what he did was protected under the First Amendment or not, and I think we're all going to learn a lesson here very quickly.
Right.
So can you talk about chemtrails? And I don't know if we're allowed to say that, and I apologize.
Nope, sure not.
Okay, so I may have got, so gameplay. See, so can we talk about things in the sky? We might not be able to today. Will we be able to in the future? Yes, because I don't see anything violation of your First Amendment doing.
Right. Nothing
Do I
illegal.
have a right to come on and duet your video if allowed, and say, here's the difference and here's an argument against that? 100%. Do you have to like it? You don't. But that's the world we live in, and we get to have different opinions and different things happen. So.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
No, that was a good answer. I'm just going to see if Maude has any more questions, because I just wanted to make sure everybody got it out. I know we don't have much time left. Maude, do you have anything else?
The last question is, and I know, like I said, I'm really big on integrity and trust and just knowing a person's intention. So I appreciate your answer. However, some of the stuff that we talked about earlier, as far as creator, the stake that the government has in this platform, coupled with some of the crypto blockchain, some of that innovation, what's the money behind it? Who's sort of driving this money? Is this funding? Is someone sorry, I don't know what that feedback was.
So I can barely hear you. So something about money and someone, I don't know what. So can you just repeat the question?
Yeah, so from the beginning, I think we hinted at talking about integrating cryptocurrency into the platform. And like I said, I'm really big on integrity and trust, and not just having someone who's maybe here for leverage or themselves, and and I'm fine with people
Thanks.
wanting to make money, but how
So-
fair is this going to be? So what is the money motivation behind it? I'm sorry, not the money motivation, but
Sure.
who's driving this? Is there any capital
Sure.
that's involved in any of this? Is this a crowdfunding? Are there investors?
I get it. So hold on a second. So this is 100% a business, and I'm acquiring a business, and I'm not doing it for my health. I'm doing it to make money, and this is the American dream that we all live. Not only am I going to make money, I'm going to make it as easy for all of you to make money as well, because that's part of the business model that I want to create. I want to make sure that you have no reason to ever use the meta platforms again. I truly want to make sure that you have no reason to ever use YouTube again, because we want to integrate short and long form videos over here. And I want to make it so easy for you to make money that you never have to use another platform again, and you can live in this ecosystem that I'm creating on social media that's never been created before. As far as cryptocurrency is concerned, there's a press release out there, and we were endorsed by the Wyoming stable token. It's a brand new stable token, and it's the first government-backed stable token to exist. It is 102% backed by United States Treasuries. So it's $1 equals one stable token, guaranteed 102% by United States Treasuries, so the United States government. And it's a tremendous opportunity for Wyoming, which is a massive reason why I'm doing this, to create an economic footprint in the Intermountain West and the Midwestern states to stabilize these economies. And I think it's really important that we all understand this. In our economies, if you're not from these states, we rely on energy, agriculture, and tourism for our industries. And we go through boom and bust cycles that used to be 10 years, but they're shrinking to like 5 and 6 year cycles. And the only way to disrupt that is to add a fourth legacy industry that will stabilize the economy. I'm in a fortunate position that I can give back to not only my state, but a lot of other states in my country at the same time, by creating a massive economic footprint in these states using technology and fintech to do that. And through stable tokens, that will also reduce a lot by 3 to 6% fees on small businesses, because the transaction fees that traditional banking systems charge, such as Visa, Amex, and MasterCard, go away. And that 3 to 6% charge reduces it to pennies, meaning 2 or 3 cents per transaction. And you can still make the transaction right here. So when I pay you out every single month for your data or your monetized videos, you'll get paid in that stable token right here in your TikTok account. And if you say, Reid, I want to keep that money on here and I want to use it as gifts or in the TikTok shop, that's fine. You can do your shopping with that. Or you so it's really, really important. The reason I'm doing this is a way that I can use my success in business to give back to as many states. And originally it started as Wyoming. It's just much larger than that now, and it's sprawling quickly through the Midwestern states as I possibly can, while giving back to the country that I love and 170 million Americans. I don't think there's anything nefarious going on here. And I understand where you're coming from, wanting to know these things. And I would encourage you to run for office someday. And I would encourage you to have a small business or a large business if you don't already. And I would encourage you to be as wildly as successful as possible. And I'll always be there to help you out. And my philosophy in business is always send the elevator back down. So when you make it up, you always send it back down so someone else can make it up. And you tell them when they get back up to the top, send the elevator down, because someone else needs to come back up too. So that's the philosophy I live by, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. But there's a massive economic implication happening in these Intermountain West states and these Midwestern states that can be solved. And if I can be a part of that solution, then I'm proud to do that. And I pray every day that I'm part of that solution, because it's going to affect so many Americans, keeping culture alive in these states by providing high-paying careers to families who normally would get broken up because young people want to leave to the big city where they can make that six-figure job. They can have those six-figure pay. They may not have to leave their home state, and they can stay and contribute to the culture in those states again. So it's really important to me and the vision that we look further than 3 or 4 years down the road, or whoever the next election is. This is why politics don't matter to me. And we look 30 and 50 years down the road and have a generational impact in this country, because we have to move forward somehow, and the division has to stop. I truly do believe that.
You should come out with little TikTok Visa cards.
No.
No, you'll just have it's tap to pay. You can tap to pay, guys. You're already having digital.
Wait, hold on, Chumpavelli. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're already making digital transactions every day in your life. In fact, I bet you right now in all of our pockets, we may have a combined $100 or $200 cash on us if we.
Back to Bad Boy. And then the defense says, what was the name of the spirits business called? Ferguson said it was eventually called Combs Wines and Spirits. Thank you, Goddess. Listen, that's why I said pay attention. Welcome in, Blue Couch. Welcome in. Thank you. Welcome to the VIP side of the house. Amazing. Good evening, Sweetie Sue. And he says, I was involved in the part in starting of Diego. Terrible. The name was, I'm sorry. On a scale from 1 to 0, I'm going to give you 1.5 for effort. You're getting the 1.5 for effort. What? Wines and spirits? We couldn't come up with something better. Like, come on now. Like, that was, she said -9. So then the defense says, what issues actually arose with Diego, right? And we go into objection, overruled, sustain, all of that, right? And then the defense ends up coming back and says, were there differences about how to actually market this spirit, right? And Ferguson says there were always differences of opinions when it came down to how they were going to market it, how they were going to drive it. He said they ended up having conversations on how they will ultimately move it, how the brand would be branded. Like, no, can't answer that, not right now. My bad. So now, hold on. That may mess me up, y'all. How? My bad. It was a family member. How? My bad. It was a family member. Cam, I'm gonna have to call you back. All right, back. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Listen, they already know. And we almost done, y'all. I promise we almost done. So now, right, they're at the part. Let me find it. Cam to mess me all up. Boom, there we go. There we go. That was the other sidebar. Boom. This is how y'all know I be taking notes. Okay, there we go. We're back at the spirits part. They asked and they were talking about my bad, y'all. I had to find the spot. Cam just messed us up. Don't blame Cam. Cam is a really, really sweet individual. He didn't mean it, y'all. But he would have kept calling because they know I typically answer the phone right then and there as to what's going on. But I'm going to continue on as y'all ask, right? So now the defense says, were there a difference in how they ultimately were trying to market it, right? And they're going back and forth. They end up having a sidebar because there was a lot of, hey, is this being marketed in the manner of how our competitors are? Think of some of the other hot and popping spirits of this time that were competitors of Diego as well as Ciroc, okay? Thank you, Tandra. Thank you. So now the defense says they went to a sidebar, ended up resulting in a break. Listen, y'all see it. Y'all only need 77 more followers to hit 10K. Can we make it? Brandy just pinned it. Let's see what we can do. Are we going to hit 10K tonight? Y'all would make my night. Listen, okay, I'm about to give y'all the finale. Because when I tell y'all this gets doo-doo crazy, make sure you are tapping, share this, share this, share this, share this, share this. So now the defense says, where are you, right? And Ferguson says that Diego's marketing was really rocky at certain points. He said, in his opinion, right? Because they had to figure out how to drive the brand like their fellow competitors. And he said his concern was that Diego was marketing to rock primarily in certain areas. And they said, well, what do you mean by it was only being marketed within certain areas? And Ferguson said, in my opinion, is that what you're asking me? And they said, yes. And the defense says, your personal knowledge, what did you think? Ferguson ended up saying the distribution was highly concentrated to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to end. I'm gonna have to end the podcast because I'm streaming. I'm streaming live on the podcast right now, and so everything just glitched while I was there.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Let me see if he's in the queue. If he's not in the queue, yeah, I sent him an email and I sent him a message. So I don't know. I guess I don't know. No.
Well, aside from that, how do
Chat
you
is saying your live is messed up, Tony.
Yeah, I just fixed it.
Yeah, it's fine. The
What are your
boxes are
thoughts on
checked
him,
up.
Tony?
I'm sorry.
What are your thoughts on him?
He's saying all the right things. I will tell you that.
Right.
And it sounds like to be honest, it sounds like a really good business plan. Just as somebody is that who has all that background? Somebody has a TV going? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, he's very straightforward, right? Some I have to do. It's on Facebook and Twitter. I mean, I'm sorry, and X and Rumble and all of that. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm looking at the screen, so I see how destroyed the display is. So people were reporting the live, probably for hate speech or misinformation or whatever it is. That's what I usually get. And this is the problem that I have with censorship, guys. This is what I talk about all the time. And this is why when it comes to the acquisition of TikTok, we need to get behind someone to espouse their own ideas without being censored. The acquisition of TikTok, we need to get behind someone who got blown up, but you all got the advantage. You got the opportunity to see what censorship looks like right now in this country. When it comes to people engaging in the open exchange of ideas, we have Democrats, Republicans up on this platform, and we've all been talking about issues that impact all of us. Yet, for some reason, whenever we start to reach across party lines, whenever we start to find common ground, there's always some weird thing that happens that shuts us down. And this is why censorship is the most important issue that we are facing today. Because if you're not allowed to speak, you're not allowed, the other person is not allowed to hear or learn from you. So free speech is not even so much about you. It's about other people who may disagree with you, because you're never going to learn if your ideas are not challenged. So I'm going to end the stream that's going out from TikTok, because all you guys on the other platforms, I know this is looking real crazy to you, but if you want to come back and follow the rest of the conversation, y'all can meet me over here in TikTok. And especially y'all who've been following me on Meta, you know exactly what I've been talking about. This is why you don't see me on Facebook anymore. And this is why you don't see me on Instagram. They don't allow you to see me. And so even though I have this little tiny opportunity to be heard on TikTok, it can be way better. So this is what we're fighting for, not just our voices, but yours. So it's to you guys who are on these other platforms. Like I said, if you're on Rumble, Instagram, YouTube, X, Facebook, I'm just going to say thank you guys for showing up, and I'll see you all next time.